First of all, I have to say that it's a pleasure to be here. Saint-Etienne seems to be very super pretty place, and your campus has been already showed. I guess the best faces because it's lovely place. We just had lunch, and actually I have only one goal, so that during my presentation only one person falls asleep after the very good lunch. Yes, I'm Katariina from Finland, and I'm very good person to talk about AI and design because I'm not an expert neither of them. My background is in business and administration, but I have had a pleasure to be working at the Design Institute, actually Institute of Design and Fine Arts in Lab University now for, let's say, 6 years altogether. But yeah, probably there are a few parts that you are kind of like a bit familiar already with. It comes to the Mosaic project. It's very nice that Eva already told a few issues about that. Then I'll describe the case study that I've had the pleasure to be analyzing and writing about it. And then we come to a part where actually I've been probably the one who has learned the most and that's the part of AI in how it has been developed and how it has been used while designing furnitures. And then of course few words about the benefits that has been this far been come obvious kind of like. Then about the design brief, like you already heard, this is just kind of like a description of one process and actually tiny part of the hackathon that was, if I recall it correctly, the lecturer Harri Kalliomaa ran it during the last fall. About the results, because the students they analyzed, they used a double diamond model, and they kind of like checked how ChatGPT, Midjourney, and probably there were also the third one about the AI tools that they were getting familiar with, and then conclusions and final remarks. So I think that we can go this quite quickly. Obviously, this case study concerned about the furniture and wood part, and maybe the objectives of the whole project are the most important one. And like you probably understand, we've been working now for 3 years with the project, and there is the last year left. Plenty of things have come up with these objectives, and I'm more than happy that we've kind of like exceeded the expectations. Yes, like I said, it was a part of the hackathon module, and very easy and simple task how AI can be utilized in furniture design process. And I've understood during my short analysis that this is, well, of course, completely new thing for the students, but also the teachers are fond of something unknown, very big and important phenomenon, and none of us can tell yet how it will develop during the following years and how it actually can be utilized. So we are all learning here. Eco-design for sustainable products regulation, green claims directive, and also new right to repair legislation. These are the issues that were already given to students. And when I was going through the results, I've already noticed that giving the prompts is the main issue when you are using AI, because it really doesn't answer to anything other than what you're actually asked from it. So I think that a few limitations or challenges that have been represented by the students in their reports, during their reports, I think that those issues could have been solved already if you have added few other issues, also including, of course, these three primary things, but also things relating to, for example, the ergonomy of the furniture or something like that. Yeah, a few details. Like I said, double diamond that was used. Altogether 11 students participated to the pilot. And yes, it was Wiscom that was the third AI tool that was used. A few words about development of AI in furniture design, and I'm pretty sure that there are persons who know a lot more about this development process than I do. But basically, every design program or tool, not only in furniture design but in several other industries, have been based in CAD and CAM kind of like tools from the very beginning. Then we saw a rise of generative design. A bit more other kind of aspects were included. And then it was time to get the machine learning involved. And I think that this was quite a big jump. Am I standing in front of my presentation? Oh, yes, I am. Sorry. Yeah, but anyways, the recommendations and personalization are probably the things that machine learning brought into the process. And obviously, it has been noticed that machines and technology doesn't just give the answers to everything, but also different kind of human aspects are needed. And that when we come to the kind of like reasoning that AI won't be replacing us as human creative beings, but just supporting us in the process and projects. Of course, sustainability, circular design, and I'd love to also add different kind of aspects, or maybe even talk a little bit broader sense about sustainability, since I think that it's not just the environment, it's not just the social living and stuff like that, but it also includes the financial sustainability, because, well, basically any industry, any business just can't run if it's not profitable. And then the sixth phase, current trends and outlook. Well, there's been quite a fuss about IoT, robotics, real-time customization, which I think that relates most to the user, actual user experience. How does it really affect to the way how we can consume and actually experience the use of whatever design product or whatever product. Then a few words about the benefits of the AI. In the first phase, of course, the creativity and ideation were a bit improved. I think that this is due to the generative design tools that could be used to explore the large design spaces. Then it was time about the optimization, when AI supports multi-objective optimization and performance-based design evaluation, and also reducing the trial and errors in structural and aesthetic design. And every time when whatever development process brings more the human being, the user, consumer into the picture, that's just positive aspect. So user-centric design was the third phase in the while using or utilizing the benefits of AI. Fourth phase, accelerating design and iteration cycles. Well, of course, the speed of whatever process becomes very essential when we are developing processes more effective. And again, sustainability and circularity. I think that these are just issues that we really need to tackle if we want to even maintain our standard of living for the future. And always when we can combine different kind of approaches, we can create synergies and improve the co-creational dimensions in whatever process. And of course, accessibility and inclusion. I'm very happy that mainly here in Europe, we are paying quite a lot of attention to these issues, but I think that we all have quite a lot to improve there as well. Okay, that was the tough part. Now we can move on to the design brief. Like I said, it was aiming to design a modular seating and table set. And if I remember this correctly, it also somehow related to developing library environment, or then some kind of teaching premises which are used for teaching or that kind of events. Yes, learning environments especially. There were, of course, few key design requirements. The first one was functionality and adaptability. Exactly. Thank you, Eva. And also the modularity, because sometimes we just need to get the furniture out of the way and get them, for example, piled and just put them close to the walls. The second one, of course, sustainability and eco-design compliance. And was it like 2027 or 8 when there will be this regulation concerning the whole process, how the furniture companies need to produce their products. So I think that there is plenty of work in order to take that message to especially to small and medium-sized companies, which in Finland we have several. So durable, long-lasting, repairability, serviceability, upgradable and modular, reusable, remanufacturable, largely made from recycled materials, and recyclable at the end of life and free from harmful chemicals. So I think that is quite a long list of things that we need to consider in general, but particularly, of course, the students here during this development process. Right to repair. Right to repair. This is something that my grandfather used to do this a lot. My grandma, my parents as well. And I think that I should learn to do that as well. Because, it's just so easy to just throw it away if something gets broken. And then green claims and communication. It must be scientifically verified, including the life cycle impacts. And then, my background is in marketing, so I'm really I agree very strongly with the last bullet point. And I'm pretty sure that you are familiar basically with the double diamond framework, so discover, define, develop, and deliver. I think that, maybe someone can correct me, but I think that design thinking is kind of like the basis for this, just very practical methodology. About the deliverables that were expected, seating and table. Ooh, I thought that I'm not that slow. Okay, hey, here are maybe a bit here. So, discover phase. They use ChatGPT, like probably most of us does. Well, analyzing competitors and making summarizes about what's already out there, and of course the more faster and broader data can be collected and also analyzed. Define phase, framing the problem, and one of my favorite lines: human insight remains crucial when the decisions are made to what direction to take the design process. And about the development phase, well, we all know that they are very effective in creating and generating visual concepts, but they make mistakes, and that's where we people and our mind and eyes become very important. And also the last phase of the double diamond. I think that, again, due to my marketing background, we can create very easily visuals and also the narratives that are supporting our story when we are about to launch whatever product line, but also, of course, that goes with the furnitures as well. So a few general reflections. Obviously, it accelerates. It just makes things more efficient and fast. It complements, but we really need to remember to have the critical eye when we are evaluating or assessing the outcomes or products what it produces us. And then here are some conclusions. Limited functional understanding, of course, when it comes to the modularity as well. And yeah, sometimes it just happens to ignore what kind of limitations there are in our environment. And also when we are talking about innovativeness and stuff like that, it actually doesn't create anything new. It just uses the things that we've actually taught to it or them. Yeah, systems might be sometimes a bit tricky, and also sustainability challenges. If they don't have enough rules or kind of like clear playground, they make mistakes. And here are my final remarks. I'm very happy to say that they really don't replace us. They are just complementary. Nothing can kind of like take away of our creative power, and that's very positive view to future. And I think that it's very important to remember that, of course, the learners, the students are here to learn, but this is also very challenging for the teachers. Some might find it also very kind of like rewarding when you can always, every single day, learn new stuff, and it's very important that you can keep up with also the technological development, but also remember to respect your own skills and talent and take good care of them. Thank you for your attention. No one is sleeping.
Thank you, Katariina, for that great presentation. Now it's question time. So AI brings a lot of questions. And may I ask the first one, but not to you, but to the crowd. Which one of you already used AI in their, like a professional, in a professional way in their product? Can you raise your hands if you already used it at least once, like Midjourney or ChatGPT? Okay, not so bad, not so bad. Not so bad, thank you. And what do you think about that number? And in your opinion, what do you think about? Is it enough, or does it need to evolve in the time?
First of all, I think that we really need to consider about our audience, because students and in ways people who are somehow related to teaching and an educational field. I'm very happy, and I think that the situation should be exactly like it is, because I know that there are, like I said already in my presentation, that in many small and medium-sized companies, they really don't have the resources to keep up with the technological development, and they probably are not able to take out of all the benefits that they could about the AI. But they shouldn't be afraid, just go on and jump in with an eager mind.
Super, thank you. Does anyone have another question? Yeah.
Thank you for that. Just a quick question. You said that AI supports creativity. Could it also stifle creativity, in the sense that in academia there's a big movement, there's an over-reliance on it, and we're losing that ability to be creative in our own minds? We're relying on AI too much?
I think that we have to be aware. I think that it's very important that we acknowledge what kind of things we personally need to do in order to keep our own minds awake, and not to, because it's kind of like the easy way to go forward, just to take everything, or as much as possible, produce them by AI. But I think that that's kind of like, in general, I think that if we are talking about the amount, how much people are actually spending today just to think, than just scrolling with their phones or doing something completely different things. So, well, I like to take always the sunny side of the street and see things from a positive perspective. We really need to be aware and know what kind of situations are the crucial ones, and make the right decisions. Because we are lazy, basically. Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there any other questions? Yep.
Hi. Thank you for your presentation. It was very clear, very informative. I had a question on how can AI help us maybe decide which type of materials we can build our designs with. Like, if AI can inform us on new materials that we may not know about, who are more sustainable, for example.
Yeah, exactly. In purposes like that, it's very useful, because it can collect you information so quickly that it would take a week from you to try to find them just by yourselves. But actually, I think that the decision must be ours. We need to be the experts and make the decisions, and well, what material would be then used.
Thank you.
So I had a question. Did the students you worked with for this workshop find it useful to use AI, but especially to answer those European constraints? Maybe you talk about sustainability and things like this. Did it help in that sense?
I think that again there were plenty of information, like we always have practically. So the lecturer, of course, draw the lines and give the three limitations from EU side. But then I think that there are also plenty of other issues that they probably missed. But in general, I think that there were altogether 4 groups and none of them used the AI tools in a similar way. Some of them, for example, asked ChatGPT to create prompts to use in during the work. And then, of course, I recall one group that then asked from Wiscom several different kind of versions of one relatively good creation. So I think that, the exercise was very good because obviously the students hasn't been using the tools that much, maybe not at all even, but the way how they decided to use them in a different way, they are exploring. And that's exactly how I'm representing my study. It's a case study of practice, maybe the first time when the students used AI tools and just started to get familiar with them.
Thank you. I have a question about the feeling of your students when they create with intelligence artificial. And did you interview them about what they feel to have created something with the digital tools?
Unfortunately, I haven't had an opportunity to meet the students. I just got their reports and I made my analysis just based on that. But in some other occasions, I have been discussing with the students. And basically, I think that most of them are curious. They want to find out how they can utilize different kind of tools. And of course, school assignments like this or learning experiences like this maybe open up the world a little bit more to them than they would be researching it just by themselves. Because quite many of the students are also interested and active while getting familiar with different kind of new apps and tools. But I think that when you bring it to the actual curricula or to a study assignment like this, then you can kind of keep every student better in the same boat in a way that no one is left behind, so that everyone gets kind of the same knowledge or information about the tools. And basically, I'd like to think that most of the students are interested in what they are studying, so I just keep my fingers crossed for that.
Thank you for the interesting presentation. I just have a question. As a marketer, you said you have a background in marketing. So what do you think about including or using AI in design in also how to buy, I don't know, stuff we will create, we will start buying. So what do you think the impact of products who are designed by AI? Is it going to be a game changer, or maybe it's just going to ruin the market? So what's your opinion about this?
I'd be more than happy to be able to say that this is the way how it's going to go. But I think that from a marketer perspective, like it was already in my presentation, that for example, when you are creating visuals or creative the narrative for a product or also a service, they are very helpful. They can provide you new insights and ideas. But I have to be the one who decides which way to go, what kind of a visual theme I'd prefer, and that would be would be the most suitable for the product that is meant to be used. So we have a very important task.
Other questions, perhaps?
In your experimentation, I don't know. Did you notice how students were feeding the IA? Did they give it some pictures, some or just or?
Well, actually, I think that at least one group first they started to create pictures, and then they started to give new kind of like prompts, just asking that could you please improve the ergonomy of the chair or something like that. But then again, a few other groups or at least one group, they first just developed quite a long prompt to the AI, and then started asking it to define also another, well, if not that critical, but bit less important features that they then asked to develop, created pictures or sketches about the furniture. It varied.
Okay, and can you measure how and in which way the IA influence our choices? Because you say it's ours to make choice, but we are influenced by.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are influenced, and in a way, of course, I'm quite old already, so I've done my PhD, so I think that I have kind of like the basic knowledge of whatever things, and when it comes to the reliability and validity of the information research that provides us information. But I'm a bit concerned about younger people who live in a very quick, fast world, and they probably don't have that much interest in getting into the roots of things. So, like I said, I'd like to think that everything will turn out fine for us, but we need to be aware, and all that we can do is to, the younger generations, I hope that they will find out that you just can't create everything out of scratch and quick, but you also need to think.
Okay, and perhaps last question.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask a question about the ecological point of view. So we know that AI have a big ecological impact, and we know that we have to use AI carefully. I just wanted to know if you think that students are aware of these problematics, or aware enough, or if there is still works to do on this subject, maybe?
There will be obviously lots of work, because we already know that how much energy just one search with Google requires, and of course these AI tools use, of course, more energy. So we have to be careful, and well, it sounds funny from my mouth, but we just need to educate people, spread the word, and keep these themes in discussions, because otherwise they will just fall out and be missed.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.